Hi everyone, this is Alena. If you struggle with losing weight, if you struggle with insulin resistance and other metabolic issues, you might want to check the level of uric acid in your blood plasma. Uric acid is an end product, it's a degradation product of purines. It's an integral part of our nucleic acids such as RNA, DNA, and ATP. Doctors routinely order uric acid tests when there is an indication of person's risk for gout or kidney stones. But now there is a massive research showing clearly that uric acid is a key player, is a fundamental player in the whole range of metabolic issues. High blood sugar, insulin resistance, high blood pressure, increased weight, increased triglycerides level, and even something called dyslipidemia, when we have too little of a good cholesterol and too much of a bad cholesterol. But even worse, high level of uric acid is associated with the whole range of downstream negative effects, well beyond metabolic disorder. For example, there is a strong correlation between elevated levels of uric acid and brain shrinkage, cognitive function decline. Generally, high uric acid levels correlates with high risk of death from all causes of mortality. Why? Because it inhibits production of nitric oxide, and we need nitric oxide to dilate our blood vessels. Because when the blood flow is interrupted, that's when we get heart attacks and the strokes and, yes, erectile dysfunction. The primary reason for high uric acid level is an ancient genetic mutation that gave our ancestors a survival mechanism to switch for increased fat storage in times of food scarcity. And the trigger for such a metabolic switch is fructose. And it affects the function of mitochondria, which results in a high level of uric acid. You can learn more about this fascinating mechanism that ties everything together: high fructose consumption, fat storage, metabolic disruption, mitochondria breakdown, in a book written by Dr. Richard Johnson, with a funny title, Nature Wants Us to Be Fat. Unfortunately, tragically, there is such a mismatch between our biology and our actual environment, food environment nowadays, because fructose, especially high fructose corn syrup, is ubiquitous in our food supply. And there is no coincidence that this high fructose consumption correlates so nicely with the rates of diabetes, coronary heart disease, and even cancer. The healthy level of uric acid is considered 5.5 milligram per deciliter of blood plasma, or lower, or below this level. You can ask your doctor to order this test, or you can buy on Amazon or in a pharmacy the home kit to measure uric acid, just like you measure blood sugar at home. And now comes the most important part. What can we do to control the uric acid in our body? Number one, avoid liquid sugar in the form of soft drinks like soda and fruit juices. What about healthy fruits? Healthy whole fruits, I hear you cry. Thankfully, research says that Consumption in moderation of fruits, whole fruits, have a neutral net impact on uric acid, and in some cases it even helps to reduce uric acid, most likely because of the fibers, bioflavonoids, polyphenols, and vitamin C content, which altogether help to mitigate the effect of fructose on our metabolism and uric acid level. Number two, avoid or limit high glycemic index foods such as bread, pasta, rice, and potato, because eventually all carbs will be converted to fructose. Hydrate yourself properly, 8 to 10 glasses of pure water every day, because dehydration also triggers this fructose metabolic switch. Correspondingly, avoid salty foods to prevent dehydration. Also, you have to be careful about certain foods rich in purines. And these are red meat, organ meat, cured meats, sardines, and anchovies, which pretty much reduces to consume only vegetables, legumes, fish, eggs, and chicken, which kind of sort of constitute Mediterranean diet. Next, hard liquor and beer also contribute to elevated uric acid. That kind of explains this typical beer belly, doesn't it? Wines, on the other hand, don't seem to affect uric acid, likely because of the polyphenols that they contain, at least red wines. And finally, there is a bunch of supplements that can help to offset high uric acid levels. And these are good old vitamin C, 5 milligram at least daily. 5 milligram of quercetin daily is also helpful. 100 milligram of luteolin and 1000 milligram of DHA in the form of either alga or fish oil. So yeah, sugar, fructose in particular, is not our friend. It's far from a treat in any way you look at it. But as a consolation prize, I have a good news for coffee lovers, for coffee addicts. Apparently, coffee consumption also helps to offset, to mitigate this harmful effect of uric acid in our bodies. At least something, right? Thanks for watching, my friends, and take a good care of yourself.